Eat, pray, discipline. That's what I want us to talk about today on Centonomy Abundant Living. Why? Because we all know we want good things, we want happy life, we want to be able to identify our purpose and even live with it, but we all know it's not that easy, especially because it needs us to do a lot of work. That's why I want us to deeply talk about discipline today, because if we are not disciplined, the Ikigai story we were talking about last week, and even last week but one, will never happen. What stops you from living what you love? What stops you from living what you're good at? And also, what stops you from being paid for it? One key thing is discipline. Number one, how to deal with it, how to become a disciplined individual. Acknowledge your weaknesses. Me, I can easily say that one of my key weaknesses is overthinking. I can end up overthinking, and what that does is it slows me down. It prevents me from really pushing beyond the obstacles and the boundaries. What are your key weaknesses? Identify them, acknowledge them, and even just say, this is my weakness. I can't do so much to change it, but if I understand what it is, I can manage it. I may not stop overthinking, but I can deal with it and I can catch myself when I'm doing it. Secondly, establish your clear plan in your life. You have been able to identify what you love, what you're good at, and what the market needs. It's time for you to get started, to put it down on paper. This is what I'm going to start doing. If you've decided to work on photography, create your roadmap. How do I start flourishing in the photography business? Do I need to learn a little bit and watch some videos, do some online courses, and start doing it? That roadmap is very important for you. A clear and concrete plan is important to enable you to start taking the small steps towards reaching your goal. Number three, remove temptations when necessary. Temptations. The temptation to procrastinate, the temptation to stop and just go back to usual, the temptation to just get back to Netflix and say, "Ai, hiyo ni ngumu sana." Resist it. Appreciate, I know we are all human, but we have to know that there are some things that slow us down. Can I tell you another temptation? Too much drinking, hanging around with the wrong people. They keep telling you, you're usual, we are normal people. That makes you ordinary. We are not extraordinary people. We've been able to see people who have lived their purpose even beyond their death. They're still living their purpose and they've left a legacy. They had to be disciplined individuals. They had to know that these are some of the temptations that set them apart, and then they dealt with it. Practice handling discomfort. Key discomfort for me, always being in front of the camera every single week and fearing, doubting myself, wondering, am I blubbering? Am I making sense? But being comfortable with the discomfort and tolerating it anyway enables me to continue living my purpose. What's uncomfortable for you? Is it networking? Is it being on video? Is it being heard? Is it being judged? It's okay. Practice it. Practice handling it, and you will be okay. And you'll be on your way to living your purpose. Number 5, vision boarding. Trust me, we always have to be in a situation where we are dreaming and having a look at where we'd like to be. What it does is, if one day you want to be a great speaker, if one day you want to be a great business owner, if one day you want to be that business leader in your area, let's say it's in IT or data analyst or as a researcher, you need to have these, I would say, visions or visuals that remind you that that's where you're going, because we are all human. Sometimes we want to look back, sometimes looking ahead is scary, but the dream, the visuals remind us why we need to keep hustling. See you next week. I want to know, how do you stay disciplined? What are some of the things you've been doing or you're planning to do to stay disciplined so that you can continue living your Ikigai?